Hello, it's been like 3 months. I'm sorry. Hi, I'm Elise, if you all have not seen my videos before. But once upon a time, I used to upload videos at least once a week, sometimes 2 times a week. That was definitely a period in my life. And then things got busy and then I just have not been consistent. But I did try to not fall off the face of the earth by pre-filming videos, and you know what? I just never edited them. So that didn't work. But in order to get back into booktube, I think I'm gonna go back into my camera roll and edit some really old footage and then ease back into it. As you can see, I'm not like in my usual filming habitat. My tripod is literally right there. I am wearing my pajamas. You'll never catch me wearing white again. But enjoy this video from the beginning of January. That's when I filmed it. It was supposed to be uploaded in January. Clearly it did not, since it is now July. Will anyone care about it? Probably not either, but you know, I think I look cute and that's what counts. So enjoy. Some of the, I just like poked myself in the mouth. Some of the statistics, because it's about my Goodreads stats, are like strangely off since the last time I filmed, because I don't know if like publication, I don't know, something in Goodreads changed. So some of the numbers I like say out loud don't match up with the screenshots that I took almost 7 months later. So just keep that in mind. Be nice to me. I'm getting back into it. But yes, hopefully I'll be back on here again. Enjoy! Hey, listen, in an ideal world, I'd be sitting on a chair while filming this because I'm gonna be looking at my laptop the whole time. But you know what? I'm trying to be productive. I'm trying to pre-film. This is my second video of today. My tripod is already at this height, so do not mind me while I awkwardly stand while holding my laptop this entire video. Hello, my name is Elise, and this is my last video wrapping up 2021. I have my worst books of 2021, my best books of 2021, and this is my Goodreads stats of 2021, and then after that, I guess I have to accept 2021 is officially in the past, and we are now in a new year. So much time has passed. I guess we won't go over my existential crisis in this video. But in this video, I'm going to be going over the stats function in Goodreads. I don't remember how I did this video last time. I did it last year. I don't remember how I edited it, so that will be a fun adventure for me after I finish filming. But yeah, we're gonna go over all of that because I just love numbers and little charts and everything. And this is also the most books I've ever read in 1 year. So I am looking forward to seeing all of my little numbers and everything because I think it's like a little video game almost. It's like I got the high score. Yeah, that was so dorky. Okay, into the video. All right, so the first category I'm going under is just the tab that says my year in books. This is again 2021, and in 2021 I read 170 books. That is the most I've ever read. That includes physical books, ebooks, audiobooks, some graphic novels, children's books, adult books, young adult books, fiction, nonfiction, all of that. And it says I read a total of 48,778 pages, also the highest I've ever done. Looking down, it says my shortest and longest book. Shortest book was 28 pages. It's called Noise. This was a super short comic / graphic novel. It was based off of a true story. It was very sweet. It started off mediocre, but then it got really cute at the end and I really liked it. Longest book. Okay, I read every single page of it, so give me credit. I'm gonna add it to Goodreads. But it was technically my Psychology of Prejudice textbook. You know what? I'm gonna add my textbooks if I want to Goodreads. I read them. I read every single chapter in that book. I took exams on it. I read every word. I took notes on it, okay? It deserves to be in my Goodreads because I read it and it's a book. But because of that, actually I'm surprised the page length is still this short or long, I don't know, whatever. But the average book length in 2021 for me was 286 pages. I was kind of expecting it to be slightly more because I feel like a lot of my books I read are like 350 pages, although that makes sense because I don't like reading long books, and if some of the books were shorter, then that's how averages work. Okay, so never mind, that makes sense. Sorry, Goodreads. But yeah, I do tend to prefer shorter books rather than longer books because I have a small attention span and I am not about to read a fantasy book that's that chunky because yeah, that's why prior to the orange tree in the corner there, I have not read that because it is scary and chunky. Then the most popular book I read was The Hunger Games. This was a reread. First time I read this book was when I was, I think, 11 years old. So basically pretty much a decade, or maybe I was 10, either 10 or 11, but basically a decade after my first read, I reread it in 2021, and I actually really, really loved it. I gave it 5 stars. I was expecting it to not be as great as I remembered, but I actually might say that I enjoyed it more the second time. I feel like I comprehended a bit more of it and understood more what Suzanne Collins was trying to go for. So yeah, I'm really glad I reread that one. Maybe I will actually finish rereading the series in 2022. And then my least popular book that I have read was called Tiny Ruins. I didn't like it. Shh. I didn't rate it because I didn't enjoy it, but because it was not popular, not many people have rated it. I knew if I gave it a bad rating, it would like significantly decrease the overall rating. I think last time I checked there was only like 9 ratings, so if I gave it the 1 or 2 stars I was thinking, then the whole rating would go down, and then I felt really bad, so I just didn't rate it. But this was kind of like a, I don't know what you describe it as. It almost felt like a collection of diary entries. I'm pretty sure it was supposed to be fiction, but I just didn't understand at all what the author was supposed to, what the author was trying to go for. It wasn't really great. The writing wasn't fantastic. I really didn't like the format, but I didn't say any of those things on Goodreads because I felt like the author might see it and I felt bad. So I just kept that to myself until this video because something tells me the author is not watching this video of mine. But you all can hear my honest thoughts on Tiny Ruins. Then my average rating for 2021 was 3.8 stars. That sounds just about right. I usually don't read or at least finish books that I don't enjoy, so I don't have many books that are, 1 or 2 stars. For the most part, my ratings are 3 to 5 stars. I think in 2021 I did quite a few 4-star ratings, which would make sense with my average rating. But yeah, all of you that have like a million 1 and 2 star ratings, you are so brave for actually rating the books that you don't like, because I think I would just pretend that the book doesn't exist. And then highest rated book on Goodreads was that same book that I didn't like called Tiny Ruins. Again, like if I gave it like a bad rating, that really high rating would have totally dipped. It has a 4.81 average. That's because like barely anyone has rated it, but I didn't want to be like the one loser who gave it a terrible rating. Like I'd feel bad, so I didn't. I'm sorry. Maybe I should be more honest, or maybe I should just keep being nice. Who knows? And then my first review of the year, I actually changed my rating later on. I lowered it because I was like, I hate this book. So I decided to be more honest with this book because there was more ratings and I felt more comfortable with my review being buried among the other ratings. But it was for Plain Bad Heroines. I definitely mentioned this in my video of worst books of 2021. I started this book in 2020 and it just took me months and months and months to finish. I needed to listen. I had an ARC and then I needed to listen to the audiobook and download an ebook of it from the library. It was just a mess. I didn't like it. It was so long and boring for no good reason. I originally gave it 2 stars, but like in my rating or in my review I said 1.5 stars, and then later throughout the year I was like, I'm gonna give it the 1 star I know I was actually feeling. So I changed my rating, but maybe it's still like a 1.5 stars, but I just did not enjoy a single aspect of it, and I don't remember anything from it. I tried to erase it from my memory because it was not a good time. Yeah, I'm really sad that I didn't like that book because it sounded really good, but it was just so shockingly boring. So that was a huge disappointment. And then what do we have next? Oh, we just have the list of my books in 2021. I already said that I read 171. And then last section here says my last review of the year. This is not right. It says my last review of the year was Before the Ever After. I gave 4 stars. It's a novel in verse, and it's about a dad who's a football player, but he suffers from a head injury, and it's about the child just processing that as his father's personality changes. That was not my last review of the year. My last review of the year was from a book called, the name is escaping me, Orpheus Girl. I gave that 3 stars. I read it like minutes before midnight on the last day of December, but it was okay. It was emotional. It was about conversion therapy, but like it was too short. But yeah, that was my actual last review of the years. And then I'm gonna go over my reading stats. There's a tab on Goodreads, the desktop version, that says reading stats. I just find this interesting to look at because it compares my reading from other years, and this was again my best year, so a little exciting. But looking at the amount of books I've read, 2021, as I have said like 4 times now, I read 170 books. The year before that, 2020, I read 166 books, which was my second most read year. But otherwise, those are the only 2 years where I've like broken 100 before. The most I've read besides 2020 and 2021 was in 2016, and that's when I read 50 books. So obviously during the pandemic, I just read it all. I just read everything. So I'm looking forward to reading more in 2022. We'll see if I can break over 100 again, because I'm a busy bee. And then 2021, I think I've already mentioned this too, but I read 48,778 pages, highest amount of pages I ever read. Second highest amount was in 2020, which was 44,182 pages. And then for the other years where I didn't break 100 books, where the most amount of books I read was 50, it was again 2016, where I read 13,959 pages. Publication year, I admittedly read mostly books only from the 2000s. It looks, there's one book in 2020 that, oh wait, no, the year is 2021, sorry. Looks like oh my gosh, it looks like the oldest book I read was actually Beezus and Ramona from it was published in 1955. I did not know that. Oh, okay. Interesting. I did not know that. Oh my gosh. And then like the second oldest book was Ramona the Pest from the same series in 1968. I didn't know they were that old. And then a lot of these books that were older that I read were like childhood books, like Bridge to Terabithia I read, that was from 1977. Sarah Plain and Tall I read, that was 1985. So yeah, most of the older books I read were from like the 1900s. Late 1900s, and they were all middle grade. This year I didn't really read any like older classics from different centuries because I was not English classes, and I struggled to force myself to read those books. And then looking at my books over time, oh, this graph is not fun to read. Okay, it looks like the month that I read, oh, I already know this. The 2 months I read the most in were July and August, because both of those months I forced myself to read 31 books in those months. So 31 books in July, 31 books in August. But other than those 2 months where I was really forcing it, the most amount of books I read was 24 books in December. That was surprising to me because I had like final exams and everything, but I guess as soon as winter break hit, I was like, I'm gonna read everything. And I did. And then the last section is pages over time. For 2021, this is another awful graph. It looks like the most I read in 2021 was in July, and it's one of the months where I read 31 books. I read 8,926 pages, which is a lot of pages. And then second to that was the other month, August, where I read 31 books. I read 8,620 books. Sorry, this is so hard. I'm not wearing my glasses. And then the third most amount of pages I read was in December, which was 6,485 pages. So yeah, I did a lot more reading this year than I usually do. Alright, that is it. That was just like a quick analysis of my Goodreads stats. I just always find those so fun. I love little charts. I've been trying to move to Storygraph because I feel like there's more fun little like data thingies on there, but it's just been hard because I have all of my other stuff on Goodreads and then I forget to update it on Storygraph. But yeah, I hope you all enjoyed. If you have any videos on Goodreads stats, let me know because I just love that stuff so much. Anyways, hope you all have a wonderful day. Thank you for watching. Bye bye. Okay, I changed my mind. What if this year I aim for the least amount of books I've ever read? Like that'd be such a Uno reverse. I think that'd be fun.